Back to a Fox News alert. Outrage growing over the treatment of our National Guard at the Capitol as some governors order troops from their state to return home.
One of those governors, Sununu from New Hampshire, joins us now. Governor, thanks for being with us this morning. So, we've been looking at those images and been pretty horrified by what we've seen. No way that National Guardsmen should ever have to endure conditions like that. But what do you say to those who say they're back in the Capitol now, the situation has been fixed? What's your reaction to that?
Well, look, the men and women of our National Guard are always willing to step up. They always answer the call, and they never complained. All through 2020, all the different crises we've seen. So when the call came out to the request that, look, the Capitol needs some help, they stepped up once again and went down there, and they did the job wonderfully. Some were working 36, even up to 48-hour straight shifts, no complaints, multiple missions. They did a phenomenal job. Obviously, some of the images that we saw over the past week were more than disturbing. This isn't a hot combat zone by any means. This is our nation's capital, and it was actually happening in the Capitol. I think that's what took a lot of us governors by surprise. And I simply said, look, they don't complain, but, it's my job to really protect the team and make sure they're not put into those substandard conditions. So we pulled them out. I appreciate they're trying to find management. They're trying to find accountability. There's a lot of finger pointing in Washington. I really don't care who's at fault. My job is to make sure that the men and women of the Guard are treated with the respect and dignity they deserve. So we pulled them back. Now, look, if there's another call, if there's another mission, we're always going to be there. Absolutely. But I just needed to make sure that, we weren't just being part of a broken system.
Governor, your troops are home. There are still a lot of them there. Reports that there'll be up to 7,000 through the middle of March. What was the mission that was articulated to you and the longevity at the beginning?
The longevity was a bit unknown. We knew it was probably about a week, 10 days, 14 days, something like that. There were going to be multiple missions. So it was going to be everything from logistics, actual securing of different facilities and structures, not just the Capitol, but in and around Washington, D.C. They're always the amazing thing about the National Guard. They can train up for almost anything in about 24 hours. We saw that all through 2020. So there was a variety of missions that they undertook. They did them absolutely stellarly. I mean, it was just unbelievable what they were able to do so fast. But again, the vast majority of those missions are done. They're ramping everything down. Again, as a governor, when you see some of those conditions, it was disrespectful. In some cases, it was just deplorable that it was happening to our own men and women. And they don't complain. I always say it's amazing they don't complain. But as the governor, kind of the head of the team, it's my job to make sure that they don't end up in those situations, which is why we pulled them back.
Really quickly, Governor, with the limited time we have left, what reaction have you gotten from either the Guard itself or from elected officials in the federal government to your call for your troops to return back to New Hampshire?
I think the citizens completely understand it. I don't think anyone in America saw those photos and said, it ain't so bad, just leave them down there. You have to lead. You have to actually put your team in a position to be successful. And they were very successful. But you also have to make sure that they're not being treated with that level of disrespect. So I think overall, without a doubt, people understand why we pulled them back, the need to do so. But again, we'll be there for the next call. But there has to be better management and accountability. Not a very common thing in Washington, D.C., as we know. And it's not about who's at fault. It's just about somebody better fix the problem and, dot the I's and cross the T's before they ask the soldiers of this country to come and stand a post.
Governor Sununu, thank you very much for your perspective and for making that call. We appreciate this morning.
Thank you.
Absolutely.